one day I was just like really surprised that I made like $11,000 in a single day, which is what I was making with my job in the entire month. So just having that, sometimes, those are the kind of moments that really hit you and you realize that, hey, you're destined for more.
So what made you walk away from a well-paying lawyer job, a job that most people consider to be the dream job, to go full-time online?
Yeah, no, great question. So honestly, it was the potential for the business that it presented for me. So I started my business while working full time as a lawyer, but I never really knew that what kind of impact or what kind of reach that I could have with an online business. So after working full time as a lawyer and working on my business during evenings and weekends, it soon grew to like six figures. And then I saw the potential for even seven figures. And I saw like one day I was just like really surprised that I made like $11,000 in a single day, which is what I was making with my job in the entire month. So just having that, sometimes, those are the kind of moments that really hit you and you realize that, hey, you're destined for more. You are meant to do bigger things and you're supposed to make a bigger impact, have a more influence, more income. So the business just kind of like really showed me my true potential, and that gave me the confidence to go ahead and say, okay, I'm just going to be a full time entrepreneur, even though being an entrepreneur is a lot more risky than my job was. Because with my job, I had this security blanket. I knew I was making X amount of money. I knew I could sleep well at nights. There were no highs and then lows. But when you're in the entrepreneurship world, there's a lot of risk. Some months you're soaring high, and then other months, your traffic can go down, your income can go down. But you just learn to be resilient and to really go on and be your own boss.
No, yeah, it's so true. The scariest times in my life were the transitioning moments between me still having a job, having two jobs actually,
Oh wow.
because I was keeping the other job just so I can have some extra money for ads because I chose the paid ad route. So I needed all the money I could get. Like I was looking for pennies between the couch cushions, hoping to find something every single month. And so there was this time when I'm still working two jobs, but I'm starting to make some money. And there was a moment, there's one day actually, when my boss really got on my nerves. So I'm with a client and the store. So I was working in a store. It was one of my day jobs. And I'm with a potential customer. It was a nice old lady, right? I didn't want to disrespect her. And the store phone's ringing off the hook. And just
Okay.
keeps ringing and ringing and ringing. I ignore it and it keeps ringing and I ignore it. And the pressure is mounting. All of a sudden my smartphone starts ringing. It's like I'm looking at it and be like, oh, it's my boss. I was like, must be something urgent. I was like, hey, Mickey. His name was Mickey. Hey, Mickey, what's up? I'm with a client. Anything urgent? He's like, why aren't you picking up the phone? I was like, well, I'm with a client, but can I call you back? If I'm calling, you need to pick up the phone. You got it? I was like, can we talk
Wow.
about this? I'm with a client. It's like, yeah, call me back right away. And he hung up. So I'm with a client, but I'm fuming.
Yeah.
I hate being disrespected like that, even by a boss. And so once I was done with this nice lady who all she wanted really was a webcam. At the time when people used to still buy webcams, I call him back and he gives me the shit about not picking up the phone. If he's calling, I'm supposed to pick up, even if I'm with a client, and yada yada yada. And I really didn't see it the same way. Like I really didn't see eye to eye with him on this one matter. If I'm with a client and my job as a sales representative in the store to make you money as your employee, it makes no sense to pick up the phone when I'm with a client trying to close a sale.
Right.
And he just didn't listen. Again, we had a different vision about it. He was extremely paranoid as a boss. And I just said, you know what, Mickey, this doesn't work for me. It's like, fine, someone will come and will replace you in a bit. And so, another guy that I was working with in that store, his name was Ezra. He came in, he took over, and now I don't have my second job. Still have my job at a toxic facility, um, and I'm making a little bit of money online. And I'm saying, you know what? I'll make a go at it again,
Yeah.
because I actually did try to make a go at it before when I made my first commission, but I quit my job too soon because I went on for the next 8 months having no commissions. So had to actually go back and beg for my job. So I was really afraid to make the transition, and this moment was really really scary. For the next few months, even when I surpassed my job income with my commissions, there were days when I didn't make any commissions, or I made $10, and I was terrified. I was quite literally losing sleep at night, biting my nails. I had no idea how to deal with this anxiety. Like, did you have a coping mechanism?
Yeah, as you were talking, I was like, yes, that's me. That's what took me so long to quit my job, because I made six figures in the first year. So people were like, why aren't you leaving your job? You've already replaced your job, with your business. But there was this anxiety all the time. Like, am I going to be able to replicate this income month to month, day to day, week to week? And that would just make me like not quit my job, because there was the security blanket. There was this sense of like, oh, I no matter what, I will have this paycheck. And it just took me literally like almost 2 years to finally like cope with it, to get to this realization that, hey, listen, if you dream big, you got to be prepared to take big risks. And you've done it. So my coping mechanism is that I would look back into the history of like whatever months that I've been in business, how far I have come from where I started, from zero, ground zero. I mean, I didn't even know nothing about internet marketing. I didn't know how to start a business, none of that. So I would remind myself, it's almost like a brainwashing and a talking session with my own self, like pep talk. And I would be like, hey, listen, you've done this. I think the thing that helped me is that every morning I would look at three things that I'm grateful for. And out of those three things would be some of my accomplishments. So that's like a reinforcement on a day to day basis that, look, if you've made, for example, 50 sales in your first month of business, or if you made X amount of followers in your whatever months, or you've done this, then that just would be a good motivation for me to keep going. And that's what I needed to kind of overcome that anxiety and that fear that, hey, and don't get me wrong, there's still times, even after making the significant money that I've made, there's still times I'm like, okay, well, the corona came and other things happen, which are beyond our control. But you just have to keep, as I think being an entrepreneur, you got to be resilient. You got to bounce back. You got to be creative, and you come up with new tips, new strategies, evolve with time, and just keep on improving your game.